I've been wanting to share my spiritual book collection for quite a while, and I've been holding off because I wanted to wait for a few more books to come in that I bought, but we're just going to start with what we have. And if you guys enjoy this, I will do an updated one in the future. So let's dive right into it. Before we start, I want to preface this by stating that just because I have a book in my spiritual book collection does not mean that I agree or that I follow specific spiritual practices or believe in specific spiritual religions. At the end of the day, knowledge helps me on my spiritual journey, and I do love to learn from other religions and other spiritual practices in different cultures because a lot of it is similarity, and I like to look at it as coded information that you can decode for your own personal spiritual journey. So I could sit up here and have the Bible a part of my spiritual book collection, but I am not a Christian, nor will I say that I believe in the stories verbatimly, but I believe in the message behind them, maybe in certain aspects where you can decode and apply it to your life. With that being said, let's get started. This was the very first book that propelled me onto my spiritual journey, and that is The Power of Now. The Power of Now is all about mindfulness. This book is literally about being mindful in every single thing you do, not just when you sit down to meditate, but be mindful while you're washing dishes, be mindful while you're driving your car. It reminds you how life throws things at you, but your mind, the mentalism within here it can either keep you in your suffering and keep you in that pain, or it can cause you peace. And mindfulness is the key to a peaceful life. So if you are somebody who struggles with negative thoughts, if you struggle with anxiety or anything that kind of keeps you down, if you view life in a negative way or certain aspects of life, like you wish you weren't working at your current job, or you wish you were somewhere else in life, if you did things differently, if you're that type of talker, buy this book, read it, and apply the knowledge to your life completely night and day for me personally, because I used to dread going to work. After reading this book, I have no negative emotions wrapped around my job. So I recommend this book. The next book by the same author is the second book or continuation of The Power of Now, and that is A New Earth. It just dives even deeper into the pain body and how the pain body can trigger your thoughts and vice versa. So being aware of your body and being intentional with the things that come up, and just remaining present without judgment of the thoughts that come your way, and how to release those negative thoughts properly. So if you enjoy the first book, I do recommend the second. Sticking with the same thing, all about mindfulness, presence, and being a good person all around. The 4 Agreements, it's just 4 agreements that you follow. It's a really short read, short book, but I'm glad to have it in my spiritual collection. I read this like in a day, and it just has 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. So if you want a little quick book to dive into, some present stuff, this is a good book. I don't hate it or love it. You can find this information in all the books, but I bought it at the beginning of my spiritual journey, so it's a good to have. Then I have The Untethered Soul. I have not finished this book. I am on chapter 3, actually. I need to pick this back up. But I don't even remember what this is about. It's about who you really are. So breaking past your conscious mind or your ego and diving deeper into the subconscious. This is basically the journey beyond yourself. So I can read a little snippet to help us both remember. The Untethered Soul begins by walking you through your relationship with your thoughts and emotions, helping you uncover the source of fluctuations of your inner energy. It then delves into what you can do to free yourself from the habitual thoughts, emotions, and energy patterns that limit your consciousness. Finally, with perfect clarity, this book opens the door to a life lived in the freedom of your innermost being. So that's what this is about. The first 2 chapters were good. I probably need to do a refresher because I picked this up a while ago. But, you know, you want to dive deeper, getting in tune with yourself, then yeah, I like this little book so far, The Untethered Soul. I'm going to skim past the ones that I don't necessarily recommend because I haven't really read them or know anything about them, but I bought this. It didn't start with you. It's supposed to be about how depression, anxiety, chronic pain, all your phobias and obsessive thoughts, they come or pass down from generations, your traumas, all of that. So I haven't read this. I don't know if it's going to be a good read, so I can't recommend it yet. Sticking with the same thing of thoughts and presence. I'm trying to stay in that, you know, sphere so I can transition on to the next stuff. But I also read in my Kindle, Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Wynn. And it says, why your thinking is the beginning and end of suffering. And that was a good book. It is also similar to The Power of Now, but it has like a different like words. So like if you read The Power of Now, you want to dive even deeper. This gives you like an even deeper perspective around your thoughts and how you can view your thought as a friend or a sister or a brother or somebody close to you that you can't live without, because literally you can't live without your thoughts. They're always going to come up. So start to view that friend as just one of those if you have ever experienced a friend who just yaps and they will talk about any and everything, but they're not always right, you know? So that's how your thoughts are. Like, your thoughts contradict you so much, but yet you still believe it. Why is that? They have lied to you so many times, but yet you still believe it. So to look at thoughts as like that friend that you can't take serious. Like, yeah, they come and go, but it's basically detaching from the idea that you have to trust those thoughts. So after I got done diving into the presence, the mindfulness, I wanted to venture off and start learning manifestation. So I dove deep into Neville Goddard and I read Prayer, The Art of Believing. I also read his complete collection of books on my Kindle as well. And then when I went to the thrift store one day, I found a book of his, Manifesting Miracles. So I just bought it to add it to my collection because I really like his teachings, and it has worked for me in my life when I started to apply it. So if you are somebody who is deep into manifestation, Neville Goddard has multiple techniques that you can use on your manifestation journey. But I want you to know, if you have not dived deep into manifesting, that all of it is tools. It is not the actual techniques that work. All of it is about programming your subconscious or helping your subconscious to know it as truth. So everything that you do, that is all you're doing. It's not the actual technique that works. It's programming your mind and which way is the best way to help you program your mind. And if you're someone who is going to dive into manifestation, the one thing that I can recommend is to don't focus on reality. Focus on your mind. As soon as you question, but do I have it yet? Or it's not here yet, you know that you still have work to do. Because instead of thinking of manifestation as a method to get something in this reality, think of it as a way to program your mind. So if you are looking in your reality, you're not doing it right. You need to be looking up here. If you still have doubt, then that means you have to continue on with the manifesting until you no longer doubt or care and you are detached from it, but still interested. So I read a little bit of stuff on manifesting, and then I was like, okay, I want to know about some occult knowledge, some esoteric knowledge. So that is when I started to dive deep into the Kabbalah. I hope I'm saying that right, but it is the Hermetic philosophy by 3 initiates. And it just tells like the, what is it, 7 philosophies? Or is it? Yeah. It tells the 7 principles that the Hermetic people, the Hermetics followed. And they're just mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. And this book helped to propel me into learning more about alchemy and the emerald tablets. So after reading that book, I was like, I need to know about alchemy. So I bought The Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy. This book was expensive because it's out of print, okay? So if you find this at the thrift store, if you could find it anywhere for cheap, put your hands on it quickly, because, you know, yeah. But this literally breaks down alchemy from how it started to like the actual chemistry of it to the spiritual and mentalness of it, and mentalism. So this was a great book introduction because it helped me on my current read, which is where by the same author, mind you. Where is it? Not I don't have all my books, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. The Emerald Tablets, Alchemy for Personal Transformation. And this dives even deeper, more information on like the Emerald Tablet and how the alchemists use the Emerald Tablet for their works. So I literally just got this book a few days ago, and I am currently on chapter 7. So I can't put this book down. Aligned with that, I also got On Becoming an Alchemist, a guide for the modern magician. And I haven't started this yet. I plan on reading this after I finish the Emerald Tablets, but it got great reviews, so I wanted to add this to my collection. Then I got The Alchemy of Stones. It says co-creating with crystals, minerals, and gemstones for healing and transformation. I bought this book because I wanted to know I know that you can easily Google a crystal and be like, oh, what does this mean? But I wanted to know kind of more so the why behind crystals. Like, I want to know the science behind things, so that way it aligns with my spiritual belief behind it, instead of just blindly following that, oh, hematite is for protection, or, you know. So that's why I bought this book, to dive even deeper on the science behind it. So I can't wait to read this. The next book I got was The Magician's Tables, a complete book of correspondence by Alan Richardson. And this book is not really like a sit down and read book. I read the introduction, and in the introduction it literally says to read the first 2 chapters, and after that, you know, you flip through and find correspondence. And correspondence are just connections. We all have correspondence in our lives, and correspondence help you with magic. Correspondence, think of it in a non-magical way, is like that trend not too long ago on, I think, TikTok, where they were talking about how they correlated certain days of the week with colors. Like Thursday would be brown for them, or like when you were in school, certain subjects had certain colors for your notebooks. For me personally, math was blue, science was red. So those are correspondence. When I see red, I know it's science time, so it gets me in that energy to learn about science. So that's what correspondence is for magic. It's getting all of those things that correspond with one another to help you focus that intent and build that energy for your magic. So I got this. It's something you just pull out and could flip through and learn. And, you know, instead of having to go straight to Google, I have it handy dandy in a book. Another little magical book I got was Water Magic, Elements of Witchcraft. And in this book, it literally talks about different cultures and how they viewed water in their magic and their deities that they worshipped. And in the back, it also has like different spells and rituals that you can use with water. And I bought this book because I am majority water sign, and I have this deep connection to water, to the moon, to darkness, and I really wanted to learn more about water. So that's why I picked up this book. I have read the first 2 chapters, so I'm still reading this book too. As you can see, I open up a lot of books and read them and then put them down, and then get obsessed with just one book that I can't put down. So I have to go back to this. Another book that I have is the Book of Enoch Complete, and this was actually my husband's. He bought it and he gave it to me when he was done with it. So I haven't read this yet either, but when he was telling me the story behind it, a lot of that was already in like the alchemy books that I was reading. So I was like, interesting. So I wanted to read this afterwards just for like to decode, you know. This book actually just came today. It's a big book, literally titled Goddesses in World Mythology. And it's not a book you read. It's basically a big encyclopedia of not all the goddesses, because that would be too many to put in here, but a lot of freaking goddesses in different religions and cultures. They have African goddesses, they have Indian goddesses, and like you can flip through, they have like the Chinese in here, Western Europe goddesses, and it just has all of the goddesses and like a quick description of what those goddesses represent, so you can do your own personal knowledge outside of that. And I wanted to buy this book because you can't, like, just Googling goddesses, like who are the goddesses online, they only tell you like the most popular ones, and I wanted to know even more. I wanted to be connected even closer to the feminine. So I wanted this book because not only is it a freaking book of goddesses, but it helps you to realize that goddess within you, and you can easily search and learn about different goddesses. Like I plan on just randomly opening it up on random pages and just like reading and finding out about specific goddesses. So that's why I got this book. I feel like I still have a few books. I know I bought this one book, I forgot what it was called, Psychic Witch. I bought that one. I haven't read that one yet, but it's supposed to teach you how to deepen your psychic abilities as a witch. I don't consider myself a witch, although I love witch aesthetic. I don't really label myself anything outside of spiritual, but I mess with the witches, I mess with the alchemists, I mess with all of y'all, okay? But moving on to something outside of specifically spiritual purposes, but still I'm reading for my spiritual journey. This one, Quantum Physics for Beginners. I am diving into learning more about psychology and quantum physics because those fields help you a lot on your spiritual journey. And it kind of, if you're somebody who doesn't just want to take it like as it is, like you don't like to hear, oh, you should do this for this, like wear pink because pink brings in love, or you know, you learn about correspondence and why they work. You learn the psychology behind why correspondence work for your mind, and you understand that everything is mentalism. And then instead of being like, oh, pull the energy and like do these spell works, you learn quantum physics on energy and matter to begin with, so you understand exactly why it works, you know. So when I started my spiritual journey and I was considering diving into spell work, I was questioning. I was like, but why? Like, why do we have to light a candle? Why do we have to do this? Like, what does it do? And I wasn't getting the answers that I wanted. So it felt just like religion. So I was like, I don't know. So that's when I started to read and learn for myself and apply my own knowledge and what I believe to it. So that's why I got this, you know, a quick beginner's guide to quantum physics. So I'm excited to read this. It literally came in today with the goddess book. So I might have to squeeze this in because it's so little. So we'll see. Then I have this Instant Influence. It says how to get anyone to do anything fast. This was recommended somewhere I think somebody like on YouTube was talking about it, and I was like, oh, that'll be interesting to learn, because apparently you can use the instant influence on yourself. So it's like, you know what? I can help people and I can help myself. So I picked this book up because it relates to like the psychology of it. And yeah, so far I have talked about the mindfulness journey that I experienced, the occult knowledge that I am currently in, the science and psychology that I am also starting to learn. And now I want to talk about the health part of it, because I believe in balance of mind, body, and soul. So you can have all this knowledge, all of this spiritual knowledge that you learn in all of these books, but if you are not taking care of your body, if you are not feeding your life force to help it to grow and maintain itself, then what is the point? If you are literally killing yourself off, then what is the point? So I do have a few health books. This one is The Green Pharmacy, and it is just all about herbalism and taking care of yourself with different ailments. And then I have Back to Eden. And this is just like, I read this book, and like, because you read it to a certain part, and then after that is when you just like use the back to like look up certain ailments. And then like it has, what am I trying to say? It has like let me open it up. So it says the disease affecting specific body organs, and it says colon trouble, and then it'll tell you a list of different herbs that you can use that helps you with it. So I have this. I also have a herbalism book down in my kitchen too. I forgot to bring that up, but I will insert a picture if I can. Yeah, but those are my current reads. I still have 2 books that I bought that are still coming in, and I am not stopping with my obsession of books. I plan on building my bookshelf soon, so that way these have a permanent home to go up for the ones that I have completed. But I am actually just very excited about this collection, because I know that eventually I'll be able to pass this knowledge on, not just to my children, but also to family and friends who are interested, so they can come over and be like, I want to learn about this, and I have a book to let them borrow and read and learn. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you found a book that you're interested in learning and diving into to deepen your knowledge and your spiritual journey. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see an updated one in the future when my collection grows, then please give this video a thumbs up, leave comments down below, and subscribe if you're not already. My name is Elle for those of you who are new, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.